Make sure you get a grown-up to help you hit subscribe. That way, you won't miss out on any of the new videos that come out.
Aussie, 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 oi. Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day kids, Ozzie here. Today we've come down to the beach and we're going to learn all about how to surf. But because Ozzie doesn't really know how to surf, I brought a friend so she can teach me. But it's not just anyone. I thought, if I'm going to learn how to surf, I may as well learn from one of the best in the world, as in the whole world. She's been ranked as high as #1 in the world, and I'm pretty proud to say she's a fellow Aussie. Kids, I'd like to introduce you to Aussie's new friend, Sally Fitzgibbons.
G'day Ozzie, it's an honour to be here to help.
So stoked to have you on board, and thanks so much for coming along to teach Ozzie how to surf. So I've also brought along two little friends, two little grommies, to help me learn how to surf today. Over here we have Lani.
Hi Ozzie, hi Sally.
Hi Lani.
And we have Channing.
Hi Ozzie, hi Sally.
Yeah, Jenny.
Thanks for coming, kids. It's always more fun to learn new things with mates, and especially when you're learning to surf, because it's good to look out for each other and keep each other safe when you're out there in the waves. So kids, Sal's going to teach me and you all the basics of surfing and what we need to get out there in the waves. So Sal, I brought my board. Is there anything else I need?
That's a good start, Ozzie, but you're missing something.
What's that?
Your wetsuit.
Oh, I better grab my wetsuit. What do you reckon, Sal?
What do you think, Ozzie?
I like your hat.
We're ready to rock and roll.
All right, so let's get stuck in. Talk to me about the board you've got there.
Equipment. So, this is my performance board, Ozzie.
It's a very nice looking board, Sal. Why don't you take us for a tour through the different parts?
I'd love to. So the basics, we've got the nose of the board, we have the top or the deck, we have the rails of the board and they run all the way down, and then this is our tail right here. And then we need to be able to stick to the board, right? So we have our grip pad. This one right here is our grip pad, and this is the wax.
Cool, so that's what we put our feet onto and that helps us stop slipping off, is that right?
That's correct, and you'll move your feet all the way up and down the board on any given occasion.
Very cool. And what's on the other side of the board?
There we go, this is the bottom of the deck, and suddenly it has little scoops in it, and then we have our fins.
They're pretty cool, and did you choose them because they're pink?
I did design these ones, and yeah, the Sally Fitzgibbons model, I think they do go faster because they're hot pink.
Very good. So I've got my surfboard, but it looks a little bit different to yours. It's a whole lot taller and a whole lot thicker. Can you tell me why?
Different boards for different occasions. So we're going to be learning today, Ozzie, and this is the best board to learn on. It's called a longboard, and we have a nice little carry strap. You have your leg rope, and then you two have your fins on the back.
Very good.
Bit of wax to stick to the board, and you're ready to go.
Okay, so a beginner can't learn on a surfboard like this.
It's going to be very challenging on this board. You want the extra foam, and that'll help you sit above the water, and then you'll be able to paddle with ease and ride those waves.
Super cool. Well, I'm pretty excited, so can we just hit the water now, or?
Whoa, we got a few more things to learn.
Oh, okay. Talk us through it.
Okay, let's do it. We can practice right here on the beach. So we're going to put our boards on the sand.
Okay.
And then we're going to get comfy. We're going to lay down and we're going to practice how to paddle.
On the board here?
That's it, on the sand.
On the sand.
So
All right,
you
kids,
got to use your
jump on
imagination.
your boards too.
And then imagination is key. So we're actually out on the water now. We've teleported and we're going to learn to paddle. So we put one arm, stretch it out in front, and one arm is back near our chest. And then we're going to switch. And switch. And we're going to keep our head up and our chest up so we can keep an eye on the waves as they're coming towards us. And then that's just going to go at different speeds. Can you paddle fast? That's it. You just move your arms faster. Can you paddle slow? And that's all there is to it.
All right. So we know how to paddle. What else do we need to do? Or is this all I need to know to get out there and start surfing?
Paddling is a big part of the game, Ozzie, so we're going to be doing a lot of it. It's going to be great for our fitness, but we want to ride some waves, don't we?
Oh, absolutely. Who wants to ride some waves, kids? I know I do. So Sal, you've taught myself and the kids how to paddle. But can you show us how to stand up on one of these things so we can actually surf?
Oh, this is the best part. So you got to imagine the wave coming and it's going to pick up speed. And for the first few waves, you might just be riding on your belly and you slowly get used to it, and then comes the pop up, and that's the best part. You got to be like as fast as a ninja. So you get like the speed, and then it comes, and then you press up, and then you pop to your feet, and you stay really low, and you bend the knees, and then wherever your arms and your head's looking, that's where you're going to go.
Sounds pretty cool to me. So let's break that down. So we're going to press up, then we're going to, like a ninja, said Sal, pop up, and we're going to bend at the knees, nod at our back,
Yep.
and whenever our eyes and our hands are looking and pointing, that's where we're going to go.
And we can use these arms for stability as well, and then nice and outstretched, and then that's where we're going to go. We've got to remember, Ozzie, the water is moving, so it's going to feel a little bit like this, you know, when we're learning, and you can practice this at home.
Yeah, you could probably just practice this on the ground at home, right?
You can. If
Not
you're
necessarily on your surfboard.
If you're in your lounge room, you can get a cardboard cutout, or on your bed's a little bit unstable, and you practice jumping up like a ninja.
I like it. So let's just go through that again. Kids, are you ready? Yeah. So we're going to push up, and then we're going to jump up straight into a 2-foot Tony, like a ninja. And we're going to bend at the knees, nod in the back, point the arm and the eyes, and that's where we're going to go. That sound pretty good, Sal?
And things that can help assist this process is definitely, maybe you could be at home and balance on one foot.
Oh, cool. That's a good trick.
Can you balance on one foot?
I can.
And then you can balance on one foot with your eyes closed.
Oh,
And it gets a little trickier.
it
You
does.
can do all these things at home, and you can do the classic. You can be at home, kids, and you can do your push-ups.
Kids, can you do some
They're
push-ups?
going to help with your pop-up. Just like that. So great for a warm-up, Aussie, and great for developing their strength to be able to pop up lightning fast.
Like a ninja. Are we ready to hit the water?
We're just about to hit the water, Aussie, and while we're checking the conditions, seeing where the safe place is, me and Lani are going to wax our boards. So you can show
Waxing
them how
the
it's
board.
done, Lani. Just going to do circle motions,
Channing, you want to do yours?
and we just want to stick our feet to the board. So we do this before we go out in the waves.
Of course.
So Aussie, while we're checking the waves, we've got to finally just wax up our boards.
Wax on.
Do those wax on, wax off. And yeah, nice circle motions, just like Lani's doing. And then our feet will stick to our board, we'll be good to go.
Okay, Sal, you've taught us how to paddle. You've taught us how to pop up and stand and what we need to do to stay straight on the wave. Now, can we please go out there and start surfing?
We're nearly there, Aussie. One more thing.
What else do we need to
One
know?
of the most important ones is our surf safety.
Safety first, of course.
So number one is definitely surfing with mum, dad, or a friend.
Okay.
And someone to watch you at all times.
Right.
And I think important to know where you enter the water and where they're standing, they're the landmarks. So let's just make sure we don't get whipped up and down the beach or off out of sight. So we're going to try and stay right in front of them. So after waves, we're just looking in and making sure, yep, that's where I started.
Cool, I like it. All right, so now with everything that we know, can we please get out in the water?
We're going to take you out there and it's going to be a nice gentle day behind us. And that's what we're looking for when we're beginning. Just nice rolling waves that we can stand up and possibly about this big. So it's looking perfect.
Cool. Kid, are you ready?
Yeah.
I know I'm ready. Are you guys ready? I hope so. Sal, let's go.
Let's go surfing! Let's go surfing! Woohoo! Woohoo!
much fun. Sal, thank you so much for teaching me everything you know about surfing. Kids, did you enjoy that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I certainly did. We can pretty much call ourselves surfers now. Probably got lots of practice where we know all the things we need to do to surf. I hope it's inspired you at home to grab a surfboard, get out there, keep trying until you reach your full potential. You can see how much fun it is out in the ocean. I think we're going to get out and surf some more waves. We'll see you on the next video with Aussie. Until then, stay keen.
Happy surfing!
Yeehaw!
Aussie, 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 oi. Aussie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day kids, Ozzie here. We have a very cool episode for you today. We're going to learn all about the awesome sport of basketball. We're going to show you some of the skills and the tricks of b-ball, but it's going to be extra special because it's not just me here today. I'm joined by someone from the other side of the world. That's right, this person lives all the way in America and he is an actual Harlem Globetrotter. Kids, I'd like to introduce you to my new friend Herb Flight Time Lang. G'day Herb.
Hello Ozzie, I'm so excited to be here with you guys today. I'm so excited to teach you and the kids of Australia some of the basics of one of the best games in the world, and that's the game of basketball. Where should we get started, mate?
What a great pass, Herb. You've definitely got some skills, I can see that. Now, I was thinking that maybe we should start with some of the basics for the kids, and then maybe we could learn some of those really cool tricks, but I'm no expert. Herb, you're the expert, so where do we start? What's the best skill to learn first when you're playing basketball? Here you go, mate.
Okay, Ozzie and kids, welcome back. Now, one of the things that you have to do in order to play the game of basketball is you have to be able to bounce the basketball, okay? It sounds simple, but it can be a little bit tricky. A lot of times people playing the game of basketball, once they're learning, they slap the basketball when they're learning how to dribble. That's not the way you do it. You don't want to slap the basketball. You want to use your fingertips. You want to be in control. Okay, you want to be in control of the ball, over the ball. You want to be able to go from one hand to the other with your fingertips. Nice, low base, under control. Under control. Try to practice with your heads up. Looking up to see the court when you're playing a game of basketball. You want to be able to move forward. You want to be able to move backwards. You want to be able to cross over. You want to be able to move forward. You want to be able to move backwards. You want to start practicing dribbling around one leg, around the other leg. Figure eights. Figure eights like this. Before you know it, you're doing the spider. You're doing the spider. Okay, what do you think, Ozzie? Another butt pass?
Nice, Herb. I do like that butt pass. And you make that bouncing look so easy. I guess that comes from years and years of practice. But I'm just a beginner, and a lot of these kids watching are going to be beginners too, so let's break it down. Bouncing, or what is also known as dribbling, let's do it. What are those key points? So we don't want to slap it, right? Just like Herb said, we want to guide the ball down with our fingertips. And we want to get low and balanced over the ball. Then once you get comfortable doing that, you want to look up, because that's what we're going to do on the basketball court. We're going to look up as we're moving down the court. Speaking of moving, once you get comfortable doing that, you can start to move backwards and forwards, and I guess side to side, yeah? And then you can maybe even use the other hand. So you're in the left hand now, and then the right hand. Left and right, back and forward. Cool, I think I'm getting the hang of this. Now, why don't we try some of those figure eights like Herb was doing. Let's see if Ozzie can do it. Around the legs, around the back, through the front, around the front, again through the back. Cool, that's fun. Now what was that other one that Herb was doing? The spider. Let's see if we can do the spider. Oh. That's fun. I think I'm starting to get the hang of this, Herb, but of course, I'm not going to be quite as good as you because I'm just a beginner. Kids, how are you going at home? Also, probably not going to be quite as good as Herb, but it's all about practice, practice, practice. You keep going, maybe one day you'll be just as skillful as Herb. Now, what's the next skill, Herb? Why don't we try some shooting? Can you teach us how to shoot?
Thanks, Ozzie. So, here are a couple things that you guys need to work on to become a good shooter. Now, myself, back in my day, I was never a great shooter, but I was always a good scorer. But in order to become a good shooter, you have to work on the fundamentals. It works as far as repetition, doing the same thing over and over again, okay? First thing you want to do is make sure you're shooting with the correct hand. If you're right-handed, you want to be shooting with your right hand. If you're left-handed, you want to be shooting with your left hand. You want to make sure you have good posture, feet about shoulder width apart. It doesn't matter if you turn square with the basket or sideways. People have different methods of teaching, but you want to make sure that you're comfortable, okay? You want to be down in a shooting motion, shooting position, basketball position, okay? Feet about shoulder width apart. And the way that you want to hold the basketball, a lot of people teach a bunch of different ways. Some people like to split the needle. Some people like to put the index finger on the needle. Some people like to put the middle finger on the needle. Now myself, I was taught to split, but lately I've been trying a lot of middle fingers. So this is what you want to do. You want to have your feet about shoulder width apart. Be comfortable, whatever angle that you're shooting from. You want to make that C shape with your arm. See that C? And you want to make sure you have a little bit of space to see when you shoot the ball, okay? So release, point down, follow through. Triple threat position, up, shoot, release. So if you're catching this all in one motion, pointing down, always having a good follow through, comfortable, nice, relaxed, pointing down into the hoop. Also, there's a bunch of different targets up there that people try to teach you to shoot at. Some people say aim toward the front of the rim. Some people say aim toward the back. Now, that's up to you. When you start practicing taking your shots, whatever you're aiming at, whatever you're making the most shots at, that's what you want to keep doing. So, with that said, back to you, Ozzie.
Another great pass there, Herb. That bag of tricks is yours is pretty deep. I can see that. And some great tips on how to shoot too. Kids, when you're really little and you haven't got a lot of strength because you're just so small, you're probably going to use two hands just so that you can push that ball up and allow it to go through the air. But when you get a little bit bigger, we're going to do what Herb said and use one hand to shoot. And just like Herb said, we're going to put our middle finger on that needle. And it's called the needle because that is exactly where the needle hole is. That's where the needle goes to put the air into the ball. So one hand there, middle finger on the ball, on the needle. Other hand is there to guide and support. Now feet shoulder width apart, just like that. And when we put our hand up like that, we want to make that C shape, just like that, as Herb was showing us. Okay, we're going to bend our knees then, because I've also been told that when you bend your knees and you push up like that, a lot of that power comes through your legs, through your knees, up through your body, out through your arm, and allows you to push that ball further into the air. And when you let the ball go, you're going to flick your wrist so that the ball spins and goes straight. So, a lot to remember, but let's put all of those skills into practice and do some shooting. Hey, not bad, hey kids. I'm starting to get the hang of this. Herb, you must be a pretty good teacher. What's next?
Okay, not bad, Ozzie. Next thing we're gonna do is something called a layup, okay? If you can specialize and become really good at making a layup, you can score a lot of points in your basketball games. Now, the first thing that you must do is you must come at a 45-degree angle. This is for starters. Eventually, you'll be able to come from anywhere on the court. But for starters, let's start at a 45-degree angle, okay? With that 45-degree angle, I like to do it in counts of 4. If you're right-handed, you want to start your dribble with your right foot, okay? If you're right-handed, you want to take that right step. 1, 2, 3, 4, off the backboard, okay? Did you guys get that? Let's try one more time. 45-degree angle if you're right-legged. If you're right-handed, you're gonna start with your right leg. If you're left-handed, you're gonna start with your left hand and left dribble. So we're gonna go in counts of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, off the backboard. Also, when you're practicing your layups, you'll have the opportunity to go overhand with the layups, or you'll have an opportunity to go underhand with the layups. Whichever way works best for you, just make sure that you practice, practice, practice. Because if you practice, you can become perfect. Back to you, Ozzie.
Oh, Herb, what a great pass that was. That's what we call using your head. And what was that last thing you said? Practice, practice, practice. I reckon that's the best bit of advice that we can give to kids, because if you're practicing, you're always going to be improving. So lots of very cool tips there, Herb. Let's break down how to do that layup. So we want to use our strong hand just like when we're shooting. So in my case, that's my right hand. Now the next thing was we want to approach the ring from 45 degrees. So not in the middle like this, and not on the side like this. Halfway through those two angles is 45 degrees. So that's about here. And then we're going to do that 4-step process. So leading with our right hand or our strong hand, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And that, kids, is how you do a layup. Did you see how when I stopped bouncing the ball, I was allowed to take 2 more steps, because that's what you're allowed to do before you shoot the ball. And another really good tip is to aim for the top right-hand corner of that little square on the backboard. That way you've got something to aim for, and chances are the ball's going to go in more often than not. Let's keep going and keep practicing. Yes. So kids, that is how you do a layup. Now, does anyone remember how to score in basketball? Well, you've got to get into the hoop, of course, but does anyone remember the points that you get? All right, if you're inside this big white line, this big arc, that's worth 2 points. Good job, kids. Now, if you're on the outside of that white arc, which is also called the 3-point line, how many points do you get? 3 points. Great job, kids. And it's also called downtown. And it's a whole lot more difficult, but when you get it, it's pretty exciting. Let's see if we can give it a go. That's how it's done, kids. Boom! Three points downtown. Downtown. There you go, kids. That is how you shoot 3-pointers. Now, we've learned lots today. We've had heaps of fun. We've learned all the basic skills like bouncing or how to dribble. We've learned how to shoot the ball. We've also learned how to do a layup. But Herb, I'd love you to show me and the kids some more from that huge bag of tricks, because I know you've got some special things in there. So come on, let's see what you got, mate.
Okay, Ozzie, I reckon I've got a few. How about these? Around the body like that. Fake the pass. Hey, around the body again. Oh yeah, around the hands. Roll it down your body real good. Oh, that felt good. Like this, then you take it around your body. I know you guys can do this around the world. That's what we call it. All the way down to Australia. Then, of course, there's the spin, which is like the earth spinning on its axis. Kids, keep the ball close in front of you. Throw it up real close, catch it, Before you know it, you'll be spinning it like that. Till then, stay safe down under.
Oh, come on, Herb. How do you even do half of that stuff? That is an enormous bag of tricks. And I reckon that if I tried to do that, that would take me years to learn. But hey, you got to start somewhere. So I like the look of that spinny one. So maybe I can start with that one. Let's see if I can do it. Yep, I'm going to need a whole lot more work on that trick and any of those tricks if I want to try them. But hey, you got to start somewhere. Kids, I think it's time that we said a massive thank you to Herb Flight Time Lang for that incredible lesson on basketball. Herb, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it so, so much.
No worries, Ozzie. It's been a pleasure working with you. If you keep practicing, maybe one day you can become a Harlem Globetrotter too. Kids, remember, kindness is free. It costs you nothing to be kind. But one last thing before I go, can you do this, Ozzie? Check it out, I think that you can. Hey, down under, love you.
Oh, Herb, we love you too, mate. Now, I'm not quite sure I can do that trick, but hey, if I just keep trying, you never know. Now, kids, as Herb always says, kindness is free. So keep practicing your basketball, but also keep practicing your kindness. I hope you've had lots of fun learning all about basketball and all those tips and tricks from Herb. Kids, we'll see you on our next video. And until then, stay keen.
Aussie, Aussie, oi. Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day kids, Ozzie here. What a beautiful day. So we've come down to the local park. There's lots of other people enjoying themselves and enjoying the weather. We've brought our footy and we're going to learn those skills that it takes to play AFL. Who can remember the skills? That's right, there's handballing. What else would you need to do to play footy? Kicking, very good. And there's one more, third one that's really important. Marking, very good. So if I can just get a footy, handballing's first. So we're going to take our hand, put it like a pancake, then put our football on top like a big dollop of ice cream. Then we're going to take our other hand like we're holding an ice cream cone. And then we want to take our cone, smush it into the ice cream, which is just hitting the ball on the end there, just like this. And that's how you handball, but you always got to make sure you keep that thumb on the outside of the cone. If you put it inside there, ooh, ouch, no good. All right, the next one is kicking. Okay, so kicking, you can kick right foot or left foot, depending which one you feel more comfortable with. You want to start with your hands on either side of the footy, just like that. We want to lean over the footy, we want to step forward with our opposite foot, and then drop the ball onto the kicking foot and swing through just like that. So that's the right foot, left foot would be right foot forward, drop it and swing through the left foot. Ozzie kicks with his right foot, so I'm going to show you how that goes, just like this. And that's how you kick the footy. And the third one was marking. That's right, in AFL, that's when you catch it, but we call it a mark. So if we just get that footy, all right, that's a mark, and you take it out in front like that. And that's what you learn when you're a little bit older. But when you're just learning and you're a little kid, we're going to practice what's called a chest mark. That's when the ball comes in, and you go like that. You get your chest behind it, you hug it in really close and give it a big bear hug so that it doesn't spill out the side. So that's the three basic skills of playing AFL. So who wants to come and have a bit of kick to kick with Ozzie? Let's go. Oh, nice kick, Ozzie! Oh, beauty, Ozzie! Okay, so what you want to do when the ball comes in, you want to make sure you give it a big bear hug. Here it comes, here's the ball. Oh yeah, big bear hug, no one's going to get that one. That's not going to spill out. Get your body behind it. And always keep your eyes on the ball. That way you won't drop it. Yes, Ozzie. Yes, Ozzie. Oh, all right. So we've taken a mark and we're right in front of goals. So does anyone remember the scoring in AFL? If we kick it through the middle post, how many points do you get? It's 6 points, isn't it? And if you get it on either side of the big post, it's worth how many points? 1 point, that's right. So we want to try and kick it through the middle and get 6 points, right? But remember, on game day, there's lots of other players and teammates on the field, so we want to try and kick it through the goals on the full. So let's line up. We're going to do the kick that we've been learning, which is a drop punt. So remember, head over the footy, take a few steps, kick through the ball, and that's a goal for Ozzie. That's 6 points. But that was a bit easy, wasn't it? Because I'm standing right in front. What happens if we get the ball and we're like on either side? Let's go and see if we can kick a goal from the side. Come on. All right, so we've taken a mark, or we've got a hand pass from one of our teammates. We're not quite in front of the goals, are we? So things are going to be a little bit more difficult if we try and kick a normal kick. So let's try something a little different. We're going to hold the ball on the ends like this, like on an angle. And we're going to try and kick it on the end of the footy, which makes it spin over itself and goes sideways. Let's see if Ozzie can do it. That's a goal. It's another 6 points. Go, Ozzie. Oh, good kick. Yes. This is a good kick to kick. So kids, I hope you've had lots of fun down here at the park with Ozzie, learning how to kick, how to handball, and how to mark. Let's see if we can kick the final goal, and we'll see you again down here soon with Ozzie. Cheers, kids. Yeah, it's a goal! Ozzie, 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 Ozzie!
Aussie, 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 oi. Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day kids, Ozzie here. So today we've come down to the local field and we're going to learn how to play and talk about the different skills you need to know to play footy, Rugby League, or NRL as it's called here in Australia. Now who can help Ozzie remember the different skills you need to know to play footy? Passing, that's right, that's an important one. What else do you need to know? Catching, you need to know how to catch the ball, don't you? Another important one is tackling, of course, and that's one that we'll do more and more of as we get bigger and bigger through the different age groups. And a really important skill if you want to get past the players in the other team and get down to the other end and score a try is learning how to step. All right, so if we can just get a footy, I'm going to show you guys different types of passes. So there's two main types of passes, and the first one you'll learn when you're just getting into rugby league is a 6 o'clock pass, and that's when you hold your hands on either side of the footy like that. A good little guide is to put your middle finger on the seams. That way you know you've got your hands even. So the idea is to step in the direction you want the footy to go, and you look that direction and you point your hands in that direction too, and that way the footy will go exactly where you want it to go. So we'll just do that one again, the 6 o'clock pass. Hold your hands even like that, step, and keep your eyes and your hands in the direction you want the footy to go. So the next pass is a spiral pass. Okay, and that's when you want the ball to fly further through the air by making it spiral. Okay, and this is one you'll be using more as you get bigger and bigger, so you can get the ball to go really far to your teammate out on the wing. Okay, and you want to hold the ball with your hands on the ends of the footy on each side of the footy, just like that. And the idea is that when you pass it and you let the ball go, you flick your wrists and use your fingers to make it spin or spiral through the air. Let's try it. Okay, let's try that again, hey? Okay, you step, make sure you flick your wrists and your fingers and make the ball spiral through the air. Okay, the next skill is catching. Okay, if we can get that ball again. All right, so that's a catch. And you can catch it out in the front like that, or catch it close. Make sure you keep your chest behind it so it doesn't fall out the sides. The main thing to remember when you're catching the footy is to keep your eyes on the footy. Don't look away before the footy gets to your hands, otherwise you might drop it. Let's go and do some passing and catching. Let's go. That's it, watch the ball all the way into your hands, just like that. Oh, good pass, Ozzie. Ozzie, Ozzie, Ozzie. Oh, good 6 o'clock pass. Nice spiral, Ozzie. Ozzie, Ozzie, Ozzie. That's it. Oh, perfect spiral and nice catch out in front from me. Great pass. Oh, great spiral. Okay, 6 o'clock pass. Yes, Ozzie. Great pass. Okay, third skill, a really important one if you want to get past the players on the other team, is a sidestep. So that's when you run one direction, you plant your foot into the ground, and then you change directions and step the other way really quickly, and then run that direction. And when you get bigger, and you practice this more and more, you get to learn how to do it on your right foot or your left foot. Yeah, a really good way to practice is to use some cones. Let's see if Ozzie can do some stepping. Yeah! Okay, so does anyone remember how to score in footy? That's right, you've got to get it all the way down to the other end of the field, past the goalpost, and put the ball down over the line. So if you've got time, you can just place it down like that. But if you're a bit rushed and someone's coming to tackle you, you're going to dive over the line. Make sure you have that ball tucked in under the arm so you don't drop it. So you dive over the line. And how many points do we get for a try? 4 points. Awesome. Then we get a chance to kick the goal for an extra 2 points. That's a conversion or a goal kick. Come with Ozzie, let's see if we can kick some goals. Try time, Ozzie! 4 points. Okay, so we've just scored a try right under the post, which means we get a chance to kick a conversion or a goal kick right in front. We're going to use usually a kicking tee or a cone in our case. I want to place the ball down like that, and the idea is to take a few steps back, make sure you're watching the ball, kick it at the bottom, straight through the post. Let's see if Ozzie can do it. Ozzie, Ozzie, Ozzie! Yo, beauty! So kids, I hope you had lots of fun today learning how to play footy with Ozzie. I certainly had lots of fun learning different things like passing, catching, stepping, learning how to score a try, and of course, kicking a conversion. So make sure you keep practicing. Maybe one day you'll be able to play for the mighty Cronulla Sharks, Brisbane Broncos, or maybe even the Blues or the Maroons in the State of Origin. Until then, stay keen. See you next time with Ozzie. Cheers. Yeah! Ozzie! 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 Ozzie!
Aussie, 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 oi. Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
Don't forget to follow Ozzie on our social channels at Aussie for Kids. Feel free to send us some ideas on what you want to learn about next, what sports you'd like to play, jobs you want Ozzie to feature, vehicles you're fascinated with, or any subjects you'd like to know more about. I'm just as keen as you, so together, let's learn more. And if you've got any friends that you think might like Ozzie, don't forget to tell them too. See you next time, kids. Until then, stay keen.
Aussie, 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 oi. Aussie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of